going on? What's going on? What up, big head? We're back. Shout out to the CIA. Confident, intelligent, and assertive men out there. One love to the FBI. Feminine, beautiful, inspirational ladies in the house. You know how we do it over here. In the chat room. Put your age, city, gender. Let's get it tonight. Bond number 9, Dubai Gold. Bond number 9, Signature. Fragrance of the evening. Bond number 9. Tell those good lies, people. Yeah.
It's not a problem. No.
Not a problem.
'Cause I know what I'm getting into.
Yeah.
Nothing can stop
Come on.
me. No. 'Cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize. Lead the way. I follow. No need to say where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all.
Zap. We are back. What's going on, people? What is going on? Oh, we gotta get in this show and get out because I gotta flued out in the morning to Miami. Going to Miami to take care of some business. Yeah. All right. Guys, I've said it. I don't know if you know this, but my guilty pleasure fragrance house is Bond number 9. Bond number 9 started my love for niche perfumery. And this one right here, I wore last night. Bond number 9 New York Oud is a go-to must-have staple in my wardrobe. But equally important is this one right here, and it's available for men and women. Bond number 9 Signature. Rose, tonka bean, oud, musk. Simple, outright sexiness. This fragrance gets a lot of love in my life because it's when I want to smell like everything and nothing all at one time. That's that one. So we're wearing Bond number 9 Signature tonight. Not to be confused with the other one in the gold bottle, Bond number 9 Dubai Gold. Now this one smells good too, but it just has a brandy note in it. We're going to actually just lay that on the hands. Because, especially if you talk a lot with your hands, don't be afraid to spray fragrance on the back of your hands instead of your wrist. Because when you move your hands around, people get that love. Now, you don't rub it in or to bruise the fragrance. Just dab. All right. So, subject tonight. You see it. You see how it goes. All I ask is people to keep the engagement up over 50%. The engagement is the likes, the dislikes, whatever it is. As long as we keep it up over 50%, you don't have to hear this. That's the intermission song. If I look down and we have the engagement at less than 50%, I'll get one warning. After that, we'll go into the entire blessed song. All right. How's everybody doing tonight? I am well. Thank you very much. I'm glad you hope you're living and loving life. Shout out to all the PhDs.
I'm a PhD.
We're going to talk about yo tonight. Shout out to all the dog moms. What's up? What's up? Shout out to all the 60-year-old sugar babies.
I rebuke.
Yeah, we got all y'all today. We got all of y'all today because we're going to talk about the biggest reason why modern women are unmarried. So you might as well get ready for it.
It burns. Oh, it burns. Oh.
You might as well get ready for it because we're going deep in. Because it's the reason so many modern women are headed here. No man's land. And for the ones who are younger, before you go to no man's land, you know where you gotta go.
Danger zone.
Danger zone is that age 27 to 35 where you can still kind of get it back on the road. 36 to 60 is no man's land, with 40 being 40, it's just pretty much, it's a wrap. If you haven't figured it out by 40, you can still get it done, but it is going to take Herculean effort. Shout out to the ladies like my mother who did get it done. All right. So here's what we got going on. Just tuned into your channel about a week ago. Wish I found you early in my life. I appreciate it. So here's what I need you guys to do. Miami is the land of the beautiful woman, the sugar baby. Yeah. So y'all can go ahead and donate to the Tricking Fund tonight because, oh yeah, you call it tricking. I call it good business. Yeah, I don't know what I say, give me the non-black community equivalent of tricking. Everybody else calls it smart business. The biggest reason, the biggest impediment and why modern women are not married. Anybody want to venture a guess as to what it is? When you think of modern women and you think about why aren't they married, what is the biggest thing that comes to your mind? And I would say many people have it wrong. Many people probably have it wrong, but I want to see some guesses in the chat room. People in the chat room, what are some of the biggest reasons, just one reason. Don't give me like a litany of everything, 11 million things. Give me one thing, one reason to why you think so many modern women are not married, unmarriageable, just out of the game. Let me go ahead and cut to the chase. Mommy issues. Modern women. And for modern women, we're going to say women 30 and up you need to pay very, very close attention to her relationship with her mother. See, we always talk to look at the relationship with the father. Yeah, but you got to look at the mother because that's what you're going to end up getting long term. Look at her mother, and that's what your future could look like. But you also need to look at her relationship with her mother. Not does she love her mother? Not does she respect her mother? Does she cherish her mother? Does she have a loving, light, healthy relationship with her mother? And so many modern women in general, in the black community in particular, don't have this with their mother. Most have a mother, they have a sister-daughter relationship. Most women have a daughter-sister relationship. They were born out of wedlock. And then, especially if they were the oldest, when she had another child, the daughter automatically became the nanny, the babysitter, all these things. Even if you were born in a two-parent household, the daughter often became competition for the father's time and attention. Oh, we're going deep tonight. And what prompted this? What prompted this? I've been wanting to talk about this for a minute because so many women talk about being a late bloomer and is it too late and all these other things. It's one of the biggest determining factors to whether or not it's going to be an uphill climb for you or not is how women look at their mothers. Last night, I had a discussion with a woman and she mentioned something about I didn't want to just be a stay-at-home mom. And that was kind of like the icing on the cake for me, the cherry on top of the stupid sundae. So many women look at their mothers as if they were dumb. You chose my father and he wasn't crap, so you must be dumb. I'm going to do opposite of what you did. You didn't go to college, I'm going to go to college. You didn't get a job, I'm going to get a job. I need to become opposite of you because I have contempt for you. I love you, but I have contempt for you. And the love that I have for you is an unhealthy love because I needed you to live. But you haven't taught me anything to be a woman that's going to be good for a man. You've taught me how to be a female man. Oh, we're going there tonight. In the 50s, there was a movie called The Imitation of Life. Check it out over the holiday season. And the premise in The Imitation of Life was a black woman who was very fair complected, light enough to where she could pass for white. And she did that. She had dreams and aspirations of being bigger than her domestic mother. And she went off and lived and she went off and passed for white, blah, 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 blah. And if you haven't seen the movie, if you haven't seen the movie, it is going to hit you in your heart. When you hear what's the woman's name? Pearl Bailey starred in a good version of it. What was that? Oh, not Aretha Franklin. Soon I will be done with the trouble of the world. Mahalia Jackson. When you hear Mahalia Jackson start singing, Soon I will be done with the trouble of the world, I guarantee you something's going to fly in your eye and you're going to have something in your throat. You ain't going to be able to hold it. If you've never seen it, I don't want to ruin it for you, but go look at it. It's called The Imitation of Life because she was trying to imitate a life. So many women look at their mothers with contempt, especially in the black community. My mother's generation was the first generation where this started. The baby boomers looked at the silent generation mothers as fools. Why? Because people were finding out that some men, not all men, this is where the color purpling of the black America kind of happened. You hear stories about you meeting cousins and family members that you didn't even know you had because Big Daddy had another family somewhere else. And that story gets told as if this was commonplace for all black men. It wasn't. But so many black women of baby boomer generation looked at their mothers as dumb. You stayed in the home cooking and cleaning and making babies and this and that, and daddy didn't do all that. And they were judging a grown relationship through a child's eyes. So many of these women decided they're going to go do exactly opposite of their mother. And then we have the first wave of the baby mamas, my mother's generation. My mother's generation taught their daughters to become my mother's generation raised their daughters to be harder and their sons to be softer because most of them didn't have husbands And they looked at their fathers who they loved, but their fathers were stern, old school. And they did not want to be under a man's authority or a man's rule because they looked at their mothers and said, this is what happens when you get a man. Not realizing that that man put a roof over your head, food in your mouth, and made you a happy family and all the memories that we love so much about the black community. These women turned their back on their mother and their father to go off to live this life of importance and significance, going to get their
I'm a PhD.
PhDs and getting their job, their careers, and all this other stuff. And at the end of the day, all you got is a damn dog, college debt, and a bunch of other shit because you 80% of women don't have careers. You got jobs. And women get into Generation X and then they repeated what their mothers did. So there's a clip on Maya Angelou, Fix My Life, or whatever, where you got Lisa Ray, her mother, and her daughter. And you can see this dynamic play out. Oh, but I'm going to tell you, I've lived this. I've seen it. You want to see the height of viciousness? Watch how a black daughter will talk to her black mother in the heat of battle. I have never, ever witnessed more vicious human interaction than the daughter-sister dynamic. Let's get it. The daughter-sister dynamic. So how many times do you hear women say they love their mothers? I ain't your mama or your daddy. Pay my life. We got to get them up. We got to be close to 1,600. Come on. Get them up. Come on. Yeah, I'll just give away 2 minutes of broadcast time because you won't hit the like button. Yeah, I'll let people leave before I let you know. You know, I got people who are leaving instead of hitting the damn like button. Good. I want you gone. Don't come back. You know the people who'd rather leave than hit the like buttons are the women who know they got a jacked up relationship with their mama and know they're unfit for anything. Yeah, got people who'd rather leave than hit the like button. As we move on into it, Lisa Ray, Iyanla Vanzant, and so often in Generation X looked at their grandmothers with respect. But see, the funny thing is, and they looked at their mothers with contempt. Because they saw how their mothers interacted with they saw how their mother interacted with their grandmother. So Generation X women respect the grandmother and are mad at their mothers because mama didn't give you a daddy. Mama's out here dating and doing whatever she's wanting, running men in and out of the house. You see your grandmother and Big Mama had a house and kids and everything else, but your mama just got a bunch of kids and no man. And you got a lot of respect for your grandmother, but you got to fear your mother to stay alive, and you watch how your mother talks to your grandmother. So a lot of Generation X people are closer to their grandmothers than their mothers. Oh, you don't hear me? A lot of Generation X black women have more respect for their grandmothers than their own goddamn mothers. That's what the last of the big mamas are. You want to know where the black community changed? When the last of the big mamas died. My grandmother's generation, when they died, this shit went off the rails. Because the only women that had respect were not the baby boomer women. Generation X women respected silent generation. Big Mama and them. When Big Mama and them died, because baby boomers looked at Big Mama and them as fools, so they went out here and got hot in the pants and started making babies without the benefit of fathers. Oh, and it keeps on going on. So we go from baby boomers to Generation X to millennials. The millennials are 2 generations deep in this shit. And millennials get around, and there's not even a stigma of having a baby out of wedlock. Matter of fact, it's cool. Go have babies. Go get a little $300 a month check. Do whatever, because you can get you a Section 8. What? We know how this goes. But we ain't even talking about the lowest common denominator. We're talking about all you PhDs.
I'm a PhD.
I'm strong, independent. I don't need no man. This is where the strong, I don't need no man generation comes from. See, even in Generation X, they was talking about the cleanup woman and this and that. That was still love songs in Baby Boomers and Generation X. We had Babyface, Mint Condition, Luther Vandross. See, but y'all's generation, it became I don't want no scrubs, so I creep. Yeah. It was the rule. It was just fuck it. No. And there was no respect for what about a woman being traditional, caring for a family, caring for children. Children became accessories. You dress them up, they look good, but they got nothing in them. You don't believe me? Then why are black children at the bottom? 80% of the children are raised by mothers, and why are black boys at the bottom? And we keep it going, and the thing is, you get so many women who are so into, I'm going to leave here, I'm going to go to college and get a job and get a business card. I'm going to go make myself better than just a domestic or a housewife. And then you get to happens, millennials and zennials. Zennials are sitting back saying, whoa, they're looking at the millennials who was single as French toast. They looking at their grandmama who was Generation X, who had all these kids but they had no husband. She might have met Big Mama. And she heard that Big Mama at least married Big Daddy and they had a house. And that's when people had cookouts and family reunions. That's where the family album looked good. See, you can say what you want to, but from Big Mama and them, Silent Generation on back, the family album was a goddamn family. There was a man, a woman, and some children. You talk about the black family right now, let's be honest, you talking about a mother and kids. You talk about the black community, you talk about a woman and children. Black men are on an island. We don't exist in the black community. So when you get mad at ads that come out showing a black man not in the family, but they show everybody else, why? You haven't prioritized them anyway, because the offshoot of what masculine authority yields is going to be control. You want to be in control, so you go get a job, go get what you think, a housekeeper or whatever. You'll take the baby. And what it comes down to is so many women didn't even realize that the number one thing that makes women powerful, their femininity and their ability to build the next generation, the hand that rocks the cradle, rules the world. Their very nurturing abilities, the femininity, that traditionalism, all that other stuff. So many women look down on it so much, they are surprised that when they get out and they meet their male counterpart, and men don't care about your PhD, your law degree, your job, your career, your this or that. They want to know, can you make a good macaroni and cheese? And you say, well, no, I'm a vegetarian. Excuse me. You're a vegetarian. Okay, great. But I can cook meat. When's the last time you cooked meat? 8 years ago, whatever. I'm going to go over here and get this girl who works at the bank. Because I saw her, when she talks about her mother, it's always happy. I want you gentlemen to think about every relationship you've ever had and ask yourself, do you know what her relationship was like with her mama? Because I have dealt with many women who had chaotic relationships with their mother, and it ruined our relationships. Because, oh boy, I talk to women who have chaotic relationships with their mothers, because it's not a mother-daughter loving relationship. They're competition. That's why you still got Generation X women out here trying to compete with 20-year-olds. Because Generation X black women don't want to give up and be called grandmothers. They still think they hot. You got 45-year-old women running around talking about, I'm gorgeous. You're a grandma. Well, how are you going to say that as a 51-year-old man? I'm a man. The rules are different for me. Back to the subject. Look at her relationship with her mother, and if it's not one where she actually cherishes her mother, if her and her mother if her, just look at it. If it does not resemble normal, if her mama didn't teach her how to cook, clean, take care of a house, some basic stuff, if her mother basically put fear in you, girl, go get a job, go to college, get a degree, don't worry. The chickens are coming home to roost. And the problem is, ladies, I didn't make it up. A lot of you ladies love your mothers, but you don't like them. You don't like them. And the first time you actually get around a family, a mother and daughter that like one another, or a mother that talks sweet to her children, you're surprised. I tried to tell a woman yesterday that black men are shocked when black women actually are nice to them, because you've seen mothers be so cold and rude and off-putting to their children because many didn't want to be there in the first place. You may love your children, but did you want them? How many children in the black community were born as a result of a plan and love? Why is this important? Because many things can look good. You can have I'm a PhD and your dog and this and that and the right degree and the right this and the right that and look great. But I always ask about their mother. And I listen to how she speaks about her mother. And most women who speak about their mother as if their mother is an older sister, it's a dead end. Why? Because inevitably their mother is still single. If they have a mother relationship where she doesn't cherish her mother, adore her mother, not love and respect, cherish and adore, be on guard. If she has a mother who is single, unmarried, be on guard. Because that situation is likely chaotic, abnormal, not the norm. Not a mother, daughter, peer, a leader, follower. It's more sister, daughter. And the thing is, many modern women never learned the value of the things they look down on. So when I hear a woman say, I didn't want to just be a housewife, it didn't surprise me, because modern women never were taught the value that is. Modern women were told to go out here and get a job and compete with a man. Why? Because guess what? Before World War II, men held the jobs and women were in the homes. Wages were high, quality of living were high. When men went off to war, you still had to have the factories running. So then they allowed women to come in because the men were gone. And the business class learned something, that business still ran with women in there because things were automated. And they realized that, women come differently to men. Women don't demand rights and unions and everything else. Women are far more agreeable. Women will work for less. So if you don't think that the business class learned that, wait a minute, women are more agreeable to men and will work for less than men, and they're not challenging me for my position, profits did not go anywhere. Matter of fact, profits went up. Then what happened when the men came home? The women went back to work, but the lesson was learned. They started offering women to come into the workplace. Then what happens? Think about it. It's simple math, ladies. If you had 10 jobs and you had 10 men, the job could get done. Wages would stay up. Wages would need to continue to go up, because if you had 10 jobs and not enough men, you got to pay more to get labor, the cost of labor. But what happens when you automatically double the amount of labor. You got 10 jobs and now you got 20 workers. You got more workers than work. You automatically set up a scarcity between the workers and it drives wages down. That's why wages have been stagnant, because you ladies went into the workforce thinking you were gaining something. And what's happened? We know that the wealth has risen to the top 1%, and with the gap between the wealthy and the poor are the biggest. That's why so many people onto this, high value that, because the middle class is shrinking and dying. Why do you think that opioids and everything is ravaging in the middle America? Because crack did it in the 80s to the inner cities with black folks. We know how we got here. Why is this so important? Human beings have always known how to do what we need to do. Ladies, you need your men. You need your men, but more than anything else, you need to go learn the lessons that the older women knew. The knowledge did not get passed down. And in my generation is where it really showed. There's so many women in my generation who simply don't know how to cook like Big Mama and them did. And the women wonder why this happens, why we're in the situation. All the dysfunctional things that women deal with, colorism and back up. Ladies, you're going to have to stop warring with your mothers. You're going to need to go understand the value of being a woman, not a PhD.
I'm a PhD.
Well, Kevin, I don't understand it. Other groups of women can do it. Other groups of women go to college and but they have an intact culture and an intact family structure. They didn't throw out the baby with the bathwater. They didn't decide to go get a college degree instead of a man. You went to college to be independent, not interdependent. So, look at her relationship with her mother. And that's one of the biggest indicators or reasons why modern women are unmarriageable or unmarried. Not unmarriageable, but unmarried. How do you fix it? Well, I'll take the women of my mother's generation. They learned how to do what Big Mama and them did. They just realized that they were wrong. Instead of saying, I thought my mother was dumb for doing all that, I realized I'm the dumb one. They had it right. Ooh, that's going to be hard though. Shame, insults, guilt, the need to be right. A lot of women would rather die than admit they're wrong. Ladies, for the women who valued outside the home over inside the home, you're simply wrong. Why? Why can you say that? Because night after night on my show, 99.99999% of women will tell you that I want to be married with 2 to 3 kids, and after I'm pregnant, I do not want to have to work to pay significant bills. That means I want to be in the house as a wife. But are you qualified to do it? Going in there, you don't get a nanny and a cook. You got to go to work there. But did you learn how to do it? Do you even value that work? Yeah, ma. Don't type in all caps. $4,300 people in here watching. And we've had some donations. We had one person came in and dropped $50. Look, people. Again, you're never gonna shame me about asking for the donation. If you like the show, the content, you want to open the call lines, hey man, we're gonna need at least 1, 2. Let's see. Let's do the math. Let's do the math, shall we? Let's do the math. Yeah, we typically get 5,000 people watching. So that means we're going to need 10% of 5,500. 10% of that's 50. Half of 50 is 25. We're going to need 25 new people to donate every day. Every day. Day in, day out. Week in, week out, month in, month out, 25 minimum every day. I think that's not a lot to ask for 5,000 people watching, especially if you watch the show consistently. If you're not a member of the channel, become a member of the channel. You're not a member of Patreon, but you don't get to come someplace and be entertained for free. And trust me, don't waste your time trying to shame me for telling you to donate to the program. No, I'm a rank capitalist and I want to become very, very wealthy. And I want you to pay for it. Just like my non-black colleagues on YouTube. They can make money off their people and no one bothers them about it. But it seems that when a black man wants to make money, all of a sudden we got to start pocket watching and then telling him you shouldn't do that. Bullshit. Don't come in here dancing on my furniture and stop twerking. Hit the like button and hit the super chat button. Appreciate it. Because this is a subject we need to talk about. Because unfortunately, what a lot of women are finding out is the things that they were told that were important.
From Kevin Samuel's iPhone.
Because unfortunately, a lot of women were really told things that a lot of women were told that were going to be important. They're really surprised when they go out on a date with the man that they find is on their level. And he doesn't care about your law degree or your career or your business. He doesn't want you for that. So that's why I had the conversation with the lady last night. And she was like, I was surprised that I wanted to be able to, she said, when I got me a man, when I decided I wanted a man, not when she got one, when she decided she wanted a man, that she was going to be able to bring something different to the table, something more. Yeah, you wanted to come to the table like a man. You wanted to talk business and all this other kind of stuff. And that's not what men want you for. We got men for that. We don't want you for that. So how do you fix it? Well, you start valuing what other women learn to value. The hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. Value the home. Value the children. Value their education. Stop being so selfish. Put your kids first, not just in Jordans. Everything else. Just like you want men to value being protectors, providers, and all this other kind of stuff. This isn't rocket surgery or brain science. You got it? I mean, we know it's not, it's like we overcomplicated this. And we really don't have to. And black women in particular, you're not cursed. You're not a special victim. So the people who give you this victim narrative, they're not your friends. The ones that excuse it, you can't go back and change the past. If today is the first time, all you can do is start saying, from today going forward, I'm gonna do different. Don't beat yourself up because you did not know. There are plenty of brothers who we didn't know either. That's why you had so many men who were raised to be softer. And you got a bunch of 50-50, let's split the bill kind of thing. And that's not what should have been done. Don't let guilt or shame keep you stuck doing stupid. Just sit back and say, damn. Like when I talk in my relationships, I look back and say, I'll never talk bad about my exes. I take my ownership for and accountability for what I did. And I look back and like, God, boy, that was dumb. I should have did better at this. I could have did better at that. If I'd have known better, I'd have done better. But you're not going to sit there and, oh my God, what am I going to do? And another thing, one of the best things you can do to help another woman is get your shit together and give her something to shoot for. A bunch of single women looking around talking to each other about being single ain't doing nothing. So that's why that conversation was really good yesterday. I wanted to talk about, and tomorrow we're going to get into the extension of this late bloomer. By this extension, if many of you have had less than stellar relationships with your mother, you're a late bloomer. That's what it really means. You didn't learn, or you did not do it the way you would have done, or you would have liked it to be done if you knew better when you were coming up. All right, then you're a late bloomer. Many people are late bloomers, and this is where it's going to come important to men, or to men who choose to be. This is why I say the grace and mercy, because look, this information and knowledge was not readily available and freely floating. For the people who want relationship, you're going to have to I don't say you have to, but it's a good idea to extend some grace and some mercy to the person you're going to deal with, because what's the alternative? Grace and mercy does not mean lack of accountability and allow a bunch of excuse making. That's one thing it does not mean. Ladies, I would tell you honestly to go through life assuming that no one's coming to save you, no one owes you any understanding, and you have to run 10 times as hard to catch up. You can't, let's talk about it off the rip. 80% overweight and obese. You can't sit around talking about you juicing and you're fasting. You need to get your ass in the gym 5 days a week. Immediately. You can't, well, I haven't worked out, I'm going to ease my way into it. Oh, no. Ease your way into nothing. Urgency. Sense of urgency. Danger zone. You got to move with a sense of urgency. But if you're in no man's land, you got to move like your hair is on fire, because you don't have a lot of time to figure this out and keep making mistakes. All right, but here's one thing we're going to do. I want to hear from people who I want to hear from the ladies and ask you, what is your relationship like with your mother? Do you cherish your mother? Do you adore your mother? I mean, I know a lot of you love her. I've heard women talk about they love their mothers and then sit back and say, I wish I was never born. I've heard a woman say this to a mother. I've heard a woman say, I wish I'd have had an abortion, to her daughter. What? Yes. I should have had an abortion. I wasted my entire life trying to mother you, and this is what I get? Oh, yeah. No wonder my daddy ran away. This is the kind of woman you are. You ran. Whoa. Ladies, y'all need to talk about it. This is why I say therapy is so important. Y'all need to heal from this stuff. Some of the stuff I've heard, I can't even repeat. I'm talking about hurt me to the bone marrow, to the DNA level. I was like, God. Woo! I'm like, y'all, as if a man had said that, if a man had said some of the things I've heard you mothers say to daughters and daughters say to mother, there couldn't have been any more conversation. Somebody would have had to go. Somebody would have had to go. There's no conversation after. If I'd heard some of this from a son to a father's son, somebody had to go. But you ladies will say this stuff to each other and then 3 days later act like it never happened. That's dysfunctional as French toast. If you do that with your mother, you're the kind of woman I'm talking about. Gentlemen, if you hear her saying she's done this with her mother and she hasn't had therapy, what? If she talks about her mother like she's talking about a girlfriend, I'm sorry, but it's not healthy. It's not healthy. It's not normal. And we got to discuss it. Yeah, man. It's like, what? Yeah, man. Have you heard some of this stuff that people say? We go open the call line. So I think that's one of the biggest reasons a lot of women today, a lot of modern women, are not married. You have no trust or no respect for what women who raised families, Big Mama and them did. That was like a big thing in the Soul Food movie. Big Mama stayed by Big Daddy and she was a fool and this and that, and not realizing that you the fool. Go back and watch Soul Food, the Vanessa Williams character, the lawyer.
I'm a PhD.
Who had all the education and was fine, and Vanessa Williams, fine as frog's hair. Thought her mama was dumb because she was from Mississippi and Chicago. Shout out to Minister Jab. I've talked to him about this. Yeah, man. The pipeline, Chicago is the crucible for all this, because when you used to get hot in the pants, that's where all the people in the Midwest and the South, when women, the Generation X, baby boomers, when they was getting pregnant, they were shipping them from the South up to Chicago. Oh yeah, we got more to talk about it. That's why that movie was such a turning point, because it's real. Think about what when we talk about family. You ain't been to a family reunion since Big Mama died. Because y'all don't like each other. The women in your family can't stand one another. We got to cook all the time and they ain't going to do that. Just think about the holiday seasons. You go home and the women of the family talking shit about each other, and then see each other. Hey girl, you bring the macaroni salad? What? That's not normal. All these mama issues. So while daddy issues are big, yes, the mother is the first teacher of the child. The hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. And this is where so many black women get so many women get thrown off the path right here. Mammy, I don't want to be like her. I'm going to get my PhD and I'm going to move to, the city, and I'm going to get me a high 5-figure, low 6-figure job, and I'll just be fine. Right. Look up, be
Danger Zone!
got nada. Look up, be 40 years old, 50 years old, just stuck like Chuck trying to chill out.
Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Si me quiero educar.
We rebuke this bull crap.
Un lugar para trabajar. Y si no hay, pues emigrar. Todo money, todo el dinero. Solo un par de gente se lleva el botín entero. Funny, pasa verdadero. Si tienen lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero llegaremos antes o después. Solo a lo suyo, que Dios te lo ve. Que por más que tarde lo veré caer. Somos malos buenos y tenemos fe. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo voy. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Yo digo las cosas como son. No quiero ninguna aceptación. Tampoco vengo a pedir perdón, porque mis sentimientos se volvieron la canción. Yeah. No me vale mucho como tú me ves. Sabes, tú me llegas solo a los pies. Para mí ser grande es un interés. Ser un buen humano para mí es un deber. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo voy. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se Money work. De corazón. La plata no te hace ser feliz. Yeah, de corazón. De corazón. Yeah. La plata no te hace ser feliz. Money work.
Go Tierra.
El mundo quiere dinero. Yeah, yeah,
Work
yeah,
that
yeah. Money work. Money work. Money work. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Lunes.
Luna.
Lunático.
All right, here we go. Call line is open. Remember, there's only one rule. I'm nice to you if you're nice to me. Ladies, do you cherish your mother? Do you adore your mother? How has your relationship with your mother impacted your relationship with men's? Unmute yourself, please. In the chat, in the call queue, Javon, unmute yourself, please. And she went away. See, this is a sensitive subject because a lot of women feel like if they say something against their mother, they're a bad person. That's why therapy is so important. Learning how to detach with love. Learning how to forgive. Many of you are going to have to forgive your parents. You're going to have to forgive your mother. You're going to have to forgive your father. You're going to have to forgive yourself. And then move on. Look, being a parent does not come with instructions. You make the best choices you can make. Okay? So what I'm saying is understand what the issue is and address the issue. Don't act as though, well, it's not that big of a deal when it is huge. Men will tell you very well, they look at how a woman interacts with her mother as a indication of what it's going to possibly be like with them. Let me see. We're on the PhD holiday season. Let me see. PhD hunt. PhD hunt. Oh yeah, baby. PhD hunt. Standing outside of Dolce & Gabbana with a dog in a freaking baby carriage.
I'm a PhD.
PhD. Oh, let's not forget. And let's zoom in on the fuzzy slippers. Dog. Weave down to her mid of her back. Weave down to the middle of her back. PhD. PhD. Hi. Yeah. But look right there. Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun.
I'm a PhD.
I rebuke.
Dun 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 dun. Ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun dun dun. See, that's what it should look like. Boom. Dun 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 dun. Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. I'm going to hell. Oh Jesus, I'm going to hell. You can't make this shit up. So every time I post it on Instagram and somebody's like, "Are these paid actors?" No, I just live life and I'm out and about. I know what I'm talking about. You got a freaking dog in a stroller standing in front of Dolce & Gabbana with fuzzy slippers and weave down to the middle of your back and no wedding ring. What's wrong with this picture? Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Come on, people. All right, if nobody open up the call lines. So let's get back to seriousness. All right. One of the biggest things in the Black community, we think we can pray it away, or we think we can just ego it away, act like it doesn't exist. No, it's going to come out. You want to know why 80% of women in the Black community are overweight or obese? I think a lot of it has to do with undiagnosed depression. You're eating your feelings. You're eating your daddy issues. You're eating your mommy issues. You're eating all these other things. I don't see happy people when I see raptor claws and long hair and purple color hair and tattoos and fuzzy slippers and loud attitude and twerking. I don't see happy people. I see unhappy people. That's what I see. That's what I see. Unmute yourself. That's what I see. Happy people don't stand up on furniture in a restaurant and twerk. That's dysfunction. Need a little attention. Unmute yourself. In the chat room. What is your name? Unmute yourself. All right. So that's what I don't. So how do you get over it? We have to acknowledge that we need therapy. We need it. It doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you small. It doesn't make you crazy. It's actually one of the sanest things you can do. You need it right now. You need to stay in it. Therapy is not meant to be forever. It's meant to get you back on track. Maybe you need Prozac or an antidepressant. Do not be afraid to take these things. That's another thing. We don't like taking medicine. I don't want to take crazy medicine. If you don't shut up, you better take that SSRI and get yourself that 30, 60, 90 days, or it takes about 30 days to get in your system, 2 weeks, 30 days. Get yourself leveled out. Talk some of this stuff out. Get a plan for your life and move. But does this look sane to y'all? I mean, seriously, does it look sane to you to see a bunch of women with dogs in strollers, flippers, weave, raptor claws, and no wedding rings? Does that look sane? But for me saying something about it, oh, you hate women, you're a misogynist. Who hurt you? What, the French toast? What are we gonna do? Therapy. Talk it out. Get it out. And it has to be you. Maybe you can go discuss your issues with your mom and couples, not couples, but family. But more likely than not, get yourself together. Forgive her, forgive your dad, forgive yourself, move on. Dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Shout out to Nathaniel. Hold on. Hi, how are you? Shout out to, I got to come through and, Claudia, I'm going to read all the super chats in a minute. Go ahead, man. What you got for me? I'm sorry.
Back to your future of course, future husband, future family, and so on. But as for the things that you have mentioned, as for not having a good relationship with your with your mother, it reflects back to
Okay, I need you to first off. I need you to turn off YouTube in the background.
Sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Go ahead, man. What you got for me? Sorry. All right. Your first name is?
My first name is Faye.
And hold on. You hate women. Well, don't come in here, man. Don't come in here talking about you hate nobody. How old are you?
Me, I am 26.
All right. So where am I wrong at?
Oh, I did not say you were wrong.
Okay.
I do understand that, but when you mean by that, is it majority of the females that you've seen in
Okay, you still have YouTube playing in the background on the TV or something. That has to stop, man.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to like
Just close it down and just close mute your TV, turn off YouTube in the background, and just be on the Zoom call, or else I have to mute you.
Okay, well, I'll just get back to you in that case.
Yeah, you ladies, come on, man. I don't care if you want to disclose. You don't have to disclose. I just need to know what to call you. Yeah, you can't call in with YouTube playing in the background. You have to mute it. Go ahead and unmute yourself, ma'am. Hello. Hi. Can I call you Kay? What do you got for me?
Like how some of our relationships with our moms are.
Mhm.
And
How old are you?
I am 29.
Okay, go ahead.
So I don't think people really talk about, you can kind of have like a love-hate relationship with a parent. Like, so my mom, she empowered us and raised us in a way, but then there was also abuse there. And it
Was
wasn't
your father in the household?
I'm sorry?
Were your mother and father married?
Initially, but then it was abusive, so she left, and then so she raised us as a
And then your
single.
mother was abusive too?
I think yes, she was. It was like a generational thing,
So
and
was
I
she
don't think
physically, hold on, was she physically abusive or emotionally?
it was both. It was both, but I think a lot of Black people think of it as discipline, and there's a line between
Well,
physically,
yeah.
and so I had to go through therapy on my own and learn like boundaries, and that like even some of the things that still occur, it's not like
But you
normal.
mentioned something that I think that you said that you can have a love-hate relationship with your mother.
Right? Yeah.
Do you think that's normal?
No, it's not. And so I noticed that that's a thing among other, not even just women, men as well. They don't realize that I think you talked about it earlier. There's like contempt there,
Mm-hmm.
but they just think of it as something else.
Well, I'm specifically talking about women
Okay.
because okay. Love-hate relationship. You're not supposed to have a love-hate relationship with the parent.
Right.
You're supposed to have a caring relationship with the parent because children are supposed to be born according to a plan.
Right.
So many people become parents as a result of just sex, not relationships. So they parent out of, just survival.
Yeah.
Which I just want to be clear that you're not supposed to have love hate. It's
Right,
supposed to
you're
be
not.
love.
So I think that we have some work to do as far as like, first of all, normalizing therapy among like the Black community, and then like identifying like the kind of gray area relationships. Like your mother wasn't completely absent, she wasn't completely abusive, but it's still not normal. Do you kind of
Right.
get me? So I had
Yeah,
to
I do.
learn
I get it.
that on my own, and hopefully that helps someone else to.
So are you married?
I'm not. I'm healing.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the last relationship you've had?
The last relationship I had was 3 years ago, and
And how long did that last?
that was for the most of my 20s. So that was a 5 to 6 year relationship.
Okay. So when you say you're healing, how long before you're going to get back out and actively start dating?
Until I feel safe again. So what I learned from that relationship was, um, so I blamed him initially. He was a narcissist, but then eventually I had to
Okay.
just figure out that there was a reason why I chose that. It was
All right.
because it was
Hold
familiar
on.
from what I
Hold
learned.
on.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
let me say something to you.
Sure.
Because one of the things that tends to happen when we go into therapy is therapy becomes a relationship.
Yeah.
And I hear this often from women. And you said something that I was hoping you didn't say that
Okay.
until I start feeling safe again. Ma'am, you're a human being. To live is to be unsafe.
Mm, okay. So
So listen. Far too often we are extreme. We either don't go to therapy or we OD on therapy. If you've been in therapy for how long?
So I'm not actively in therapy right now. It was off and on. Initially, I needed it to kind of identify what was going on. I didn't know about narcissism.
How long were you in it?
I was in it for 5 years. I was like 20 when we met, and then I got out because I
Oh, so you were in therapy for 5 years?
no, I wasn't. I was in the relationship for 5 years,
Right. I'm
and
trying to understand how long you were in
so
therapy.
I was in therapy um, for a year in the middle of the relationship, and then I was in denial because she was telling me that I should leave. So then I stopped,
Okay.
and then
Listen, breathe, sweetheart. Breathe. Okay. Dealing with a narcissist is its own issue.
yeah,
My I An ex of mine was a narcissistic borderline personality. I get it. But I'm starting to hear, okay, you're in with a narcissist and you got parental issues. And look, um,
so
if
I
you've been
guess
there for, but I would, you say when you feel safe, but you're not in therapy.
so. Okay, so I'm not in therapy right now, but I know enough on my own. Like I didn't need to.
No, 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 no.
No.
See, that's exactly where I was gonna go, people. You're in charge of a process, and you didn't go to school for this, and
I do study
but you
a
show
lot.
me an attorney who represents himself, and I'll show you somebody who has a fool for a client.
Oh, okay.
No, ma'am. No. Listen. Any therapist worth their salt would tell you you can't be your own therapist.
Mm.
That's why you're using all these buzzwords, and I'm like, I hear you, I'm hearing you. But what I don't hear is you had a narcissist, you were involved with a narcissist for 5 years. Okay, your parental issues are over here, but you should be in therapy for both of them because you said I will move on with life once I feel safe, but you're not in the thing, you're not working the process with somebody.
Okay, so can I say something? So right
If you let
now,
me finish what I'm saying,
okay.
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
So
Go
I
ahead.
learned that it's important. Not everyone knows how, and not every therapist worked for me, right? So for right now, I'm looking for a therapist that knows how to deal with the complex issues of, my
When
parental
was your
issues.
last when was your last meeting with a therapist?
Um, my last meeting with the therapist was last year.
So don't tell me you're looking for a therapist that knows how to work with a complex issue. That's why I cut you off, ma'am, because
Okay.
I'm trying to be polite. But look, you're not a special snowflake. You have damage just like the rest of us, and you're not qualified to determine who's. You need therapy, period. Any therapist will do other than you. See, this is what happens, people. We go into this thing to where we don't know, then we start being our own doctors. You just said you're not getting into life until you feel safe, but you're not in therapy with anybody right now. I ask you why you're not in therapy right now because the therapists aren't good enough.
It wasn't that she wasn't good enough,
Yes,
but if
that's the
you
net of it. The net of it is they're not qualified to deal with your complex issues, i.e., not good enough to work with you. And
I've
you
had
said you're looking
therapists
for
tell
one,
me
and you're
that
not looking for one, ma'am.
I
Ma'am,
am actually, I
a
am.
year and a half? How long should it take to find one?
Okay. I'll
This,
take that. I probably do need to be
exactly.
more proactive about finding it, but
Exactly. Because,
it is um not every therapist knows. They clinically, like, they learn it through school, but they don't have experience working through certain
ma'am,
issues.
what
So
did you go? Did you go to college?
yes, I did.
What's your degree in?
Social work.
Okay, exactly. You can't make this shit up, people. Ma'am,
Yes.
shame, insults, and the need to be right. You're not right on this.
Okay.
You're 29.
Okay.
You went to school for social work. You're not Einstein. You had issues. You were a narcissist, so you say, okay. You had abusive parents, so you say, okay. But the net of it is you're good at identifying problems. You're not good at staying in through the solution.
Mm.
You need to be in therapy right now with your mouth, with talking to somebody who knows more than you. Not sitting around deciding, well, you know what, let me probe you to see whether or not you're good enough for me to sit down and discuss my issues, because it's you whose life is on hold.
Okay.
That's where I'm trying to get to. So you have it. I get it. You want to feel safe, but you're not safe. You're just disconnected and quitting.
Wow.
That's why I do this show, because so many women like you,
Danger Zone!
27 to 35, stick your head in holes that they shouldn't be, and then you look up and your prime years, your most fertile years are gone by. Your ability, would you ever like in the future to be married or with children or in a serious relationship?
You're asking? Yes, I would like
Well,
that.
then you have to heal in order to get. What are you going to? At what point are you going to be ready for that? When you're safe. Well, you can't get safe until you do the therapy. Well, you can't get therapy till you start actually looking for a therapist. So this is another path to dying alone. So for the people in the comment section who say, well, you're not letting her speak, I'm sorry. I know what I do. You need therapy, man. Tomorrow. Any therapist will do. Book a free session. Whatever city you live in, go online and find the life coaches or therapists and just book a free session. They do them via Zoom call. There's no reason for you not to have had an appointment in a year and a half.
Okay, so I actually forgot. I did have therapy, but it was like Christian based, and the whole praying thing.
Then
It wasn't really.
I'm a Christian, and practical therapy and spiritual are two different things.
Okay.
Like, ma'am,
Yeah.
you need therapy.
Got it. Thank you.
Got it. See, we really get a problem in the Black community, and that's what kind of happens. Well, I know better. I know. Well, I had enough. Again, 29. When are you gonna get back out here dating? When I feel safe. Well, how's that supposed to? Well, when I feel safe, how's that supposed to happen? Well, I'm not there. Shame, insults, guilt, the need to be right. I didn't make that up, but it fits. The late bloomer thing, we're going to talk about that more in depth tomorrow. But one of the biggest things I'm going to tell you late bloomers, and a lot of you ladies, stop needing to get the last damn word. That is one of the biggest indicators to men. That's one of the biggest indicators men have that you are actually in a better headspace when you stop needing to get the last word. Go back and listen to yesterday's podcast or the day before. How many times I'm saying something and just to get the last word. Yep, you're right. Yep, you're right. It's like, and it's not all, but it's all coming from the same place, fear. And what I'm trying to do is shine a light on the fear so you can do something about it instead of just saying, it doesn't matter, or sooner or later I'll get back around to it. No. Time's just ticking. And everybody else is involved in life. And we're just ice skating uphill. Moving legs fast as hell, but not getting nowhere. People in just a second. I'll get to you guys in just a second. All right. So to the first person to unmute themselves, 1, 2, 3, 4. Unmute yourself. Rhea? Hello? How are you? Icon, how are you? What do you got for me?
I'm 43-year-old, 3-year-old. I've had the commitment issues.
Uh-huh.
So it's funny that you bring up this topic because I was talking to my sister earlier today about this actually, and we were
Mhm.
talking about my mother. My mother has passed, and we both have problems committing, and it does go back to, first of all, my mother was a very good woman, and
Mhm.
I adored her. I adored her. I took care of her until the day she died.
Okay.
She had cancer, and she came to live with me, and I really took care of her. However, some of the things that she told me and my sister about men, they were kind of detrimental. And then some of the things that we saw in the household. And one of the things she told us was to always keep two,
Mhm.
to keep two men because men could not handle the emotional weight that a woman puts on one man. So in
Mm.
order to let off some of the pressure, keep two.
Wow.
Um,
Wow.
and yeah. And also she was a good woman, and she was kind. And
Was she
the
married to your
thing,
father?
oh yeah, she was married. They were married.
Did she have a
Um,
man on the side?
yes, she did for
Mm.
20 years.
Did he know about it?
Yes. hmm
Did he accept
So
it?
what happened was he was an alcoholic, and so there were a lot of times where he was in and out of the house. And as a kid, I remember
Okay,
telling
so
her,
at 43 years old,
yes, uh-huh.
any children?
I do. I have one son.
How old?
He's 18.
All right.
hmm
And you and his father were
We were
you got
married.
all right. So
hmm
commitment issues.
Yes.
What are you doing about it?
Well, I'm in therapy.
Okay.
Last time I talked to you, you were like, "Get therapy, ma'am," and I was like, "Yeah, I need to get back into that." So I
Good.
did. Yeah,
I mean, understand. I talk to a lot of
I
people,
know,
so
I know, I know. But I listened to you because it really did. When I heard what you were saying, I had never heard it in that context.
Mhm.
And so I did go back and get therapy, and
How's your son doing?
he's fine. Um, he's doing really good, actually.
Is he in college or is he in high school?
Well, he's a senior in high school, and he
Mm.
just had an interview with an Ivy
Cool.
League.
Does he
So
have a close relationship with his dad?
he has a relationship with it's not as close as it should be. It's
Okay.
not as close as it should be. Yeah. He
And
has.
you went back to therapy how long ago?
I did a couple of weeks ago, Kevin.
All right. And so 2 weeks, what do you want to get out of this actual therapy? What's the outcome you want to have?
I want to be able to sustain relationships without running. Because as soon as I feel like a little anxiety or vulnerability, I'm putting on my sneakers and I'm going out the door. And
Did you
so
run from his dad?
well, he cheated on me.
Huh?
I mean, he cheated on me. So I did leave him.
Repeatedly or just one time?
Yeah, repeatedly. And then also there were some real character issues. But
Okay.
the thing was, he met my mother and she really liked him, but I
Well,
didn't like
I'm
him.
gonna say something to you ladies about cheating. I got to
Yeah,
say this to all you black ladies. I'm sorry.
right.
Black women, you act like men are supposed to be monogamous forever. Some guys, look, black men get the bad rap for being the most cheating on the planet, but no, it's like you gonna leave her some. You made a baby with him, and he
Yeah.
cheated. I'm like, why are we better? Are we better apart? Is the question. That's
In
what
this
not.
case,
And I
yes.
mean in
Yeah.
general. Okay.
No,
So
in
at the end
general,
of the day,
no.
you want to not have to run. All right. When was the
Yeah.
last relationship you had,
Well, it was over a month ago, Kevin. It was over a month ago.
and how long was
And
that?
that was 2 years.
And why
That
did
was
that
two
stop?
years. Um, because I just couldn't act right. I
Hmm.
just couldn't get myself together. He kept
Oh.
trying.
Okay. Are you military?
Yes.
Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
know. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Stay up under
Mm-hmm.
the therapist
Up
because
under.
I mean,
But
seriously.
I've
I mean,
been,
it's
yeah.
good. Is your sister
Yeah.
going?
Pardon me?
Your sister, is she going?
She isn't, but she needs to because
Well,
remember,
worry about
yeah,
yourself. So I got to get to the next person. But here's the thing:
yeah.
women need an aha moment, accountability, honesty, and acceptance. For you, that big H of honesty, just being honest and direct with people because you know your issues. So if
Mm-hmm.
any man getting with you, um, full disclosure up front would be a good thing. Hold on, I'm gonna get to the next caller. You hang out there for a second though.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna go to Justine. Hello. Hi. Hi. How are you? What do you got for me?
Okay, so I was kind of calling in after I'd heard you mention the idea of the non-monogamy. As a Christian man, it just kind of slightly rubbed it. No, not slightly. It kind of did rub me the wrong way. But
Okay,
before
the
that,
topic tonight is about the
I know.
reason.
So before, yeah. So
Yeah,
before
I
that,
mean,
that
so
I'm calling
yeah.
in to say I'm glad that this topic came up, and I feel like it is definitely very important.
Well, you know,
Um,
what I mean, let me
there,
say something. Why do are you're a Christian?
yes.
I don't know why so many of you Christian women feel as though men and women. So what? I said something as a Christian man that rubs you the wrong way. I'm
Hmm.
not Jesus,
No, you're not.
and I'm not your pastor. So I don't propose to be walking on water or being perfect. I'm a realist, and I deal in outcomes. Do you honestly think successful men in particular are supposed to be strictly monogamous for a lifetime?
Okay, fair question. I would say it would have to deal with what a man grounds himself in.
No,
So,
I did. No, I did. See, I gave you a specific question. You said it depends. No,
yeah,
what do you think? What do you expect?
I would expect if they're not Christian, then no. Or if they're not, if they don't follow the tenets and they really believe in it, then no.
What do you mean,
Um,
Christian? Hold on. Okay, so in Christian, hold on now.
okay, but I don't want to like stray away from
Yeah,
the.
because you
I
started.
think,
Say, I get tired. Here's what I get tired of: Christian women trying to control men with the Bible. Look, I know what I said, and everybody's not a Christian. And honestly,
Mhm.
you're lucky to find a man. And I don't really think monogamy is cut out for most people, Christian or not.
That's a fair
And
statement.
it's no hill to die on, but we tend to want to break our relationships up over things that most people will fight through because we don't value our relationships. Oh, the wind changed. Oh, I'm not happy. Your shoes are too big. Man, if you don't get out of here,
That's a
go
fair
ahead.
statement, Mr. Kevin. I'm simply saying if polygamy, if we want to go that way as a society, we'd have to really kind of relook at how we're deciding. But as of right now,
Just
as
look
a
at it this
society,
just look at it this way. Look at the numbers.
a monogamous relation.
Look at the numbers. Look at the numbers.
That's fair. That's a different
There
topic,
are
and I
more
think
women on the planet than men. So if every woman had a man, there are millions of women that wouldn't have one.
I will respectfully say I am not an expert in this area.
Well, I
So,
would tell you that in the black community, there are 2 million more of you than us. That's just
mm,
in our community. That's in the world. That's in nature. Ladies, understand something. There will always be more females of any species than males. Always. You cannot keep a species moving forward with equal numbers of men and women. Women have one pregnancy for 9 months. In 10 years, you can only make 10 children at best. A man can make thousands.
No, and that's a fair statement. But again, that's just something where you'd bring that back to society, and if we're going to rescript the rules, then let's rescript the rules. I am not expert in that at all.
I get it. Okay. So let's move on to the next thing. Do you have a good relationship with your mom?
I do. The relationship has definitely been in a healing path.
Good.
Yeah. So I'm glad to hear.
Would you be happy? Are you married? Are you planning on getting married?
I do plan on getting married. I'm not married.
Would your soon-to-be fiance love to sit in the same room with you and his soon-to-be mother-in-law?
Absolutely.
That's a good thing, because many men are looking at your mother and determining whether or not to keep you.
And I hadn't heard before. So I'm glad to hear that topic. I have heard check to see if there's father issues and things of that nature. I've heard, see how a man treats his mother, but I haven't really heard the one about, daughters,
men are looking at your mother to see what it is you're going to be in 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
Presumably you're half of her. So if, let's say, you're thin and your mom's morbidly obese, I got a concern, because that's what you might look like.
Wow. Okay.
That's a common dating premise. What I'm hearing though more from Black women is you're so disconnected from us as men that the relationships only go one way in our culture. What you guys want. You guys have really no idea who we are or what we want. So all this basic stuff is like eye-opening, and I'm like, wow, this shows how far we got to go.
Well,
because this is real basic.
You take the journey one step at a time, right? I mean,
well, no. Yeah,
you don't.
But, no, I don't get. I'll tell you what. But you can't do it when you're behind. Take the journey one step at a time. But when you're behind, you better pick up the pace.
Okay.
So you can take one step. I just need you but I need you to take the steps a hell of a lot faster.
Okay. I see what you're saying. I mean,
all right.
yeah.
All right. Thanks a lot. Yeah, I don't give us that one journey. No, Black women, you don't have time to walk. Walk it out. You got to run. Quick march. Dee Dee. Unmute yourself. Dee Dee. Hello? Hello? Yes? All right. What do you got for me?
Just chime in. This is my first time with you. I watched your video about the twerking. And well, I didn't meet my mother until I was 23. And my dad raised me. Excuse me. My dad raised me as a single father. And I've never heard, like the young lady said, I've always heard men, or my dad told me to watch how a man treats his mother. I've never really heard what you're saying.
How old are you?
I'm 31.
All right. And so you didn't have a woman in your life?
Yeah, I've had, like, my dad was married for 13 years. So I had a relationship with her, but it was never.
At what age? At what age did she come into your life?
When I was 11.
All right. So I don't know you, but one of the things that tends to happen when women don't have a woman in their life is they tend to really become masculine. They tend to become masculine because fathers are cared about your survival.
Right.
And your dad is going to tell you what he tells you to survive. That's fine.
Well, my dad is also, and I've been listening to a lot of your videos while I go to work, and a lot of the things that you're telling the young women, my dad has told me, specifically talking about us as Black women. We do have to run. We have to run it out. We can't walk it out because there is it's a ratio of, like you're saying. I would say.
So, is your dad ever? When was your last relationship you've ever had?
Monogamously, or like, just
whatever you was the last. Relationship. That tends to mean 1-to-1.
Okay, 1-to-1 about 7 years ago.
All right. So you were 24. How long was that? How long were you guys together?
We were together about 6 years.
Oh, so from 18 to 24, why didn't you guys marry?
Because he wasn't ready to do what I was ready to do. He was still playing games, and I had graduated from college, and I was ready to go on and be a family and do
You have any
the
children?
No, I don't.
How old was he? Was he older or the same age?
He was about 3 years older than me.
All right. So 7 years ago was your last relationship. So you want to be married?
Yes, I do.
All right. So I'm gonna tell you that you want children.
Yes, I do.
How many?
2. 2 is good.
And I always ask this question: do you want to have to work to pay significant bills after you're pregnant with your first child?
Well, that is an interesting question because I watched that show too, and I mean, I do. And the reason being, I stay in California, and it is you have to be a hustler to make it
Okay.
out.
All right. So I'm just trying to get some basics. So, if you want to be married, that's fine. You want 2 kids, that's fine. But my concern is you're coming across as you have a masculine energy about you,
Okay.
and your
I
and your tone. Um, and this doesn't surprise me when girls are raised by fathers. There's a tendency for fathers to harden their daughters.
right.
And I'm sensing a lot of hardness.
A
You
lot of
need
what?
hardness, hard. Your tone is like, yo, what's up, dog? I'm feeling you got a booming voice. I'm like, all right, man, that's cool. But husbands don't tend to hear wives like that. How tall are you?
I'm 5'6",
Dress size.
16.
Come on, ma.
But you
Really?
know what?
No,
No,
no, I
wait a
don't want to.
minute
I don't
now.
want to know. No, 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 nope.
I'm
You're not going.
working on it. I'm
Well,
proud of
but the
myself.
thing is, how you get to be a dress size 16 with no kids?
Well, I mean, I like to eat. I can't lie
Well,
about
that's good.
that.
Well, good. All right. Well,
And
but
I'm
see,
hippie. I'm
I ain't no
hippie. I
hippie.
have
See,
a lot of
see, black.
curves.
No, 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 no. See what it does. This is one of the main reasons you ladies are single. You make excuses for being obese.
No,
Li-
I'm not making an excuse. That's not
Listen.
an excuse.
Okay,
I
but you
don't have
say,
any
but you
excuses.
know when you look in you know that men don't like, man, my dress size 16, that puts you every bit around 220 pounds.
Yes, it is.
At 5'6", you're the size of a fullback.
Okay.
And I'm saying it in a light way, man, but
Well, no, you
th-
keeping it real, and I
I
don't
am,
because
but the thing is, you
young
ladies,
men have told me
you
that
can't
as well.
overtalk me, man. That's why I say that's masculine. I keep trying. Okay, look, I get it. It's a tender subject. But listen, you cannot be, you only can have one struggle. We can only have one. You can't have multiple struggles. You can't be a masculine, uh, deeper voice woman and your size. That just won't work. Not for the outcome you want. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Because I mean, my father has told me that as well. He keeps it real. So
So, I mean, this is one of the things that I don't understand because as a father, you're supposed to tell your, we all know how our daughters look. And I'm like, look, I mean, on a scale from 1 to 10, where would you rank yourself? Just face alone, out of the shower, no makeup, no hair extension or weave. And you cannot use 7. 0 to 10, where would you rank yourself?
8.
Beyonce is an 8.
Yeah, I have beautiful skin.
Beautiful
No
skin,
makeup.
but you got beautiful skin, but Jack, you rank yourself an 8. You're saying you are on par with Beyonce in the face.
Absolutely.
All right, so I'll just take it for the sake of conversation. Then you're wasting. If that's true, then you're wasting pretty.
What'd you say?
Then if that's true, you're wasting pretty.
Well, I'm trying to not waste it. That's why I'm working on
Okay.
myself.
How many days a week are you in the gym?
3 days. I actually walk around the lake. That's about 3 miles a day.
So you don't go to the gym.
Well, in my city, the gym's not open.
All right. So again, remember the first thing you said, I agree with black women. We cannot walk, we gotta run, and you're not even running. You
I
can't
am
walk.
running.
Listen.
I
Oh
am
no, I
running.
need you. I
I
need you to
am.
listen. I need you to listen. Check the ego. It's not about you personally. You're not in a position. Okay. Walking 3 miles is not enough. You need to be changing your diet to a plant-based diet or a majority plant-based diet. Increase your water intake. You need to be hitting the weights to
Well, now,
build.
see,
I
I
need you to
understand. I don't mean to
listen.
cut you off,
No, you're not
but
gonna cut
you
me
asked
off. No,
me.
you're not gonna cut
Okay,
me off. What did I
okay,
say?
You're right. You're right. Go ahead.
How the fuck? You don't cut a man off, ma'am.
You're
This is
right,
not what you
sir.
do, especially when it's my show. That's why I said this says that masculine shit. Ma'am, if you know, then do it. If you know what to do, then do it. And there's no way if you knew what to
I
do.
have been, but nothing happens overnight, and
What do you
that's
mean
the
nothing
thing.
happens overnight? This is okay. You ain't been this. Okay, when's the last time you were a healthy weight?
Well, see, here's the thing. I was
When's
just
the
a
last
size
time you were a healthy
24.
weight?
Maybe about 8 months ago.
Okay, so 8 months ago you were 140 pounds.
No,
When's the last
I've
time you
never
were a
heard
healthy
that.
weight?
I've
How's the
never
last? No,
heard
no,
that
you're
from a
5
doctor.
foot. Yes, you have. If you're 5
Never,
foot,
not for
okay,
me,
okay, I'm
ever.
going. Okay, well, you're 5'6". A healthy weight for you is 130 pounds.
Never heard that.
Well,
Ever.
guess what? That's why. This is why so many of you guys are losing. You think healthy weight just means the fat fell into places you like it.
No, I don't think that, sir.
Okay, well,
That's
okay. How
not
much
what
did you
I
weigh? How
think.
much did you weigh 4 months ago?
I was 195.
God damn it, 200-pound woman has never been a healthy weight. The fuck are you talking about?
I thought it was appearance, and I
No,
agree
it's
with
not
you.
appearance. You weigh more than a man.
What man?
Any man at 5'6", the average weight, the average height of an American male is 5'10". His average weight in 1960 was 165 pounds. The average American female is 5'4". Her weight in 1960 was 125
So, okay,
pounds.
fast
Listen,
forward it to 220,
listen.
2020.
God damn it. Don't tell me to fast forward shit. I'm running my show the way anyway. That's why I said what I said at the beginning, y'all. It's that masculine energy. Ma'am, I didn't put you in this position. 200 pounds. I mean, listen to what she's saying. Just because the fat fell in places that low value guys typically like, it's all right. It's not about appearance. There's no place where a 5'6" woman who's 200 pounds has a good appearance. Now, I'm going to ask you to please not talk over me, ma'am. That will not work on this show. If you can unmute yourself, if you cannot overtalk me, if you can, I'll bid you a good night. Ma'am,
Hello.
simply this. A man in this country, 5'10", normal weight or average weight is 168 pounds. You're almost 30 pounds over the normal man in this country. That doesn't change for the black community. So unless your dad is a big guy.
He is. He is. He's 6'4", big guy.
I'm 6, and how much does he weigh?
He's about 3. He's like a linebacker. Like
No, ma'am,
320.
he's not a linebacker. I'm
He's
6 foot.
solid, though.
Ma'am, see, I'm 6'4", 215 pounds.
Yeah, he's much bigger than you.
No, that he is morbidly obese, not a linebacker.
Well, he's
See,
solid though. He lifts
ma'am,
weights.
ma'am,
He's
I
about
don't give a.
6'6", sir.
You are over talking me, ma'am.
I
I don't
need
get.
to.
Yeah, I'm done actually. I mean, I don't know what I'm getting upset about. This is how far we've fallen as far as she's still trying to make excuses. A man 6'4", 300 something pounds is on the way to death. And you are too. And I'm not going to sugarcoat that shit. You're on your way to death. And we got to stop playing with this stuff, acting like it's a goddamn game that we can sit around and a woman be 5'6" and think I was at a healthy weight at 195 pounds. Ma'am, you need to go see a physician. You need to get your blood work done. You need to go sit down with a personal trainer and a nutritionist, get you together a life plan, and start living and start eating and working out for life. You're in charge of this process and it's not working. Walking 3 miles around the lake is not enough. That's maintenance work after you're already at a healthy weight. And telling me that you don't remember being 130 pounds tells me that you've been this size since junior high at best. And I don't find anything funny about any of this stuff. That's why I'm looking in the chat room anyway. I don't find it. This is why our Black community is dying. 80% of our women just are clueless about this. And you got to understand, ma'am, that the kind and caliber of man that you could attract at 230, 240 pounds, do you think that's going to be a man who's a provider, protector, paying bills?
Well, I mean, at 200 pounds, no. I mean,
you're not 200.
take
You're
away-
more than that now. You're 230
Well, yeah,
plus.
I'm 235 pounds to be exact.
So what kind of men are you attracted? What kind of men would be attracted to a woman that's that size?
I mean, you know what? It's up for debate.
Not
I
up for
mean-
debate. Why you keep saying it's up for debate?
Well, because I mean, I know successful women who are bigger than me, who are married and who've been married for
But
years.
you need to. You personally know them,
Yeah, I personally know them.
and how long have they been? And they've been married for years. So were they 235 pounds when they got married?
Yeah, they
All right,
were.
man. Well, good luck with that, ma'am. See, I can't do it. I can't do it. This is the extent Black women will go to justify this bullshit. I
Well,
refuse
it's
to
not
do
a
it.
justification.
It is
I mean,
justification for this bullshit. You weigh more than a man. And the only thing that should be coming out of your mouth is, damn, you're right. Other than, well, it's up for debate. And shit up for debate. Black women are dying by themselves. 80% of our children are born to single mothers. 80% of you Black women are overweight and obese. 1 in 4 of you will marry in your lifetime.
yes, and
These are all
and that
real,
was
and
the
I don't.
ratio.
And,
Yeah,
excuse me.
that's
You
the
learned that on
ratio.
YouTube. You
That's
learned,
the ratio I gave my dad. That there is
but your dad, ma'am. All you have to do is, what part of California do you live in?
the Bay Area.
The Bay Area. All right, walk outside and see how many Chinese women do you see your size, your age, and your size?
It's very diverse here.
I know. Is it the majority?
No.
No. As far as your age, and far too often this has become normalized. Your father's morbidly obese. If he's 6'4", 300 plus pounds, that man, if you probably took a look at his arteries, I hope he has a physician, because I don't want to see people dying of stroke and all this other kind of stuff. But at 31, ma'am, this is a recipe for disaster. And all I'm hearing is, well, it depends. It depends. Just because men typically don't go marry women that are bigger than them. Especially not productive, competitive, successful men or men of value. If he can't carry you across the threshold, what's the point of taking you to the house? Someone will have sex. Men will have sex with that. And that's the bad thing for men. That's a bad thing for Black men. You guys just deciding to kick it with women like this has made it to where they honestly think that it's not that bad.
Well, it is bad though, because the thing about it is, is, I mean, it's like you talked about a high quality woman. And I mean, and women having high standards or whatever, and they wanting this particular kind of man. I mean, I do offer a lot, but
What do you
because of
offer?
my appearance is
What do
the
you
interference.
offer? What do you offer?
Well, I'm a helper. I'm gonna help my man.
Hamburger
I'm not
helper?
hamburger helper, shrimp helper. I
Well, I mean,
mean,
you're a helper meaning
whatever it
what?
is that he needs.
Okay,
I
but
mean, if he need a button sewn on his shirt,
all
we in the
right. But the
midst of
last time you had a relationship was 7 years ago, right?
yeah, because you know why? It's I haven't found a deal that I can accept. And I
Whoa, whoa,
mean,
whoa, whoa, whoa! Back up, back up, back up! Don't just roll past that. What do you mean a deal you can accept?
well, like I said about the 1-to-4 ratio. If there is a one man and there is 4 women to that one man, 2 of those women are just gonna get fucked over. Excuse my French. And it's only gonna be 2 of those women who are really gonna be into battle, and one of the women he's gonna marry and love. So if that's the ratio, then it has to be a deal between me and the other person that's in agreement.
Man, what you just said was a bunch of hogwash. I don't even know what you're talking about. You you haven't had a deal that you can deal with. Who is trying to marry you?
Anyone in particular,
No, no,
anyone
no,
I can
ma'am. No,
be with.
no, no, ma'am. See what you're
I'm
talking
just
about.
you're
So first
speaking.
off, first listen. No, no, I'll let you speak. I said 1 in 4 black women will get married in their lifetime. I didn't say it's a 1-to-4 ratio. All I'm asking about is you said you cannot have a deal that you can keep. Who is seriously approaching you for marriage?
That's the point. There isn't many marriageable men in the dynamic
Bullshit. That's why
around
I
me.
said what I said. Bull.
Like
Listen and listen very
it's
well.
and
Listen, listen.
I'm
I
not
know. No.
listening.
Listen and listen very well. 51% of black men in this country are single and childless.
Yes.
Listen, 64% are in the middle class. There is not a shortage of marriageable, eligible, available black men in the middle class. There is a shortage of women who are fit for marriage.
And I think that you're misinterpreting me
I
because
listen to what you said. I listen very well,
I'm not
ma'am.
saying that I'm prepared for marriage right
But you
now.
saying you
I'm
had a deal
giving
that
you
you can. You said a deal that you can keep, and that implies.
exactly.
That,
I said I
but
haven't.
that implies that you can pick and choose between offers. You don't have any offers. You just talking. Woosah. Shame, insults, guilt, the need to be right. Lacking fundamental communication and ability to get on accord with a man is something that troubles far too many black women. All these stats, all these statistics, all these figures, just verbal vomit and diarrhea. When you're walking down the street at 235 pounds, no, you don't have men of value, productive, competitive, successful men trying to date and marry you. You're bigger than they are. Whatever you may bring to the table could be perfectly lovely, but men are visual, and you're failing the first test. Too many of your ladies try to talk yourself into desirability. It won't work. Jody. Hello. Claudia, you're up next. What's going on, Jody? Okay, what do you got for me? We're talking about women, and we're talking about modern woman and
Okay.
and their mother issues. If they have do you adore your mother? Do you cherish your mother, or do you have a sister daughter kind of relationship? I mean,
I have a mother-daughter relationship.
A sister-daughter, not mother-daughter.
Um,
Sister-daughter is almost
well,
like your mother's like your sister.
no.
Okay,
That's what I'm saying. It wasn't that type of relationship.
cool.
It's you're the daughter. You
Mhm.
you do what I say. Two bulls cannot rule in one pen was the
Right.
rule in
hmm
my household.
Well, you know what I'm talking about? The women who tend to their mothers like their older sister. Are you familiar with the concept?
Uh, I kind of am, and I don't really agree with that because it's like, there's a line that they tend to cross is because it's like we have that relationship where we're so cool, and then that's where the arguments kind of because like
Right.
sisters argue, and
Right.
you and your
Right. Right.
parents, your mother, you don't argue
So
with
while
your
you and your
mother.
mother may be different than a lot of women today, because a lot of women argue with their mothers like they're their
Um,
sisters,
n-
and a lot
no,
of women will tend to even go out to a club or a lounge with their mother, when
never.
my mother and her mother would have never done anything like that.
Never. And my mother is a Christian. She goes to church and all that type of stuff. She's a housewife. I grew up in a, two-parent. My parents are still married.
Mm.
Um, so I basically pretty much had I can't really say, you and the mother say things, and I
Right.
don't take things to heart because I realize, okay, you and my father might be going through something.
Right.
And it's like, okay, you might take it out on me. And I'm just thinking, okay, as long as, I'm not touched, because I try not to put my feelings there. I'm like, okay, well, yeah, whatever. You still love me. You're here. You cook for me. You
Right.
clean for me. I come home, I get a hot meal every day after school. So
Yeah.
whatever. You still love
Hey,
me.
Hey, Claudia, how are you? And thanks for calling in, Jody. Claudia, what's going on?
Hi, Mr. Samuels.
How are
Sorry to call
you?
you back, but you
Go
have a
ahead.
new fan. My husband made me call you.
Yeah.
You have a new fan.
Hey, good. You guys look good together.
Yeah, I changed my picture because of that, because he's here listening to your show for a few
Yeah.
days now.
Yeah. So what do you got
And
for me?
and he made me call you because of the person that was arguing with you about the cheating part.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to say something to Didi. Was the name of
Mm-hmm.
the person that you spoke before, Jody?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
She wasn't finding any deal because, like she said, it's a competition. Why a man has to take the lesser deal if he
Right.
has options?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Uh,
If she's in a competition, she should better herself to be competitive,
mm,
like you do if you're in a work environment.
well,
I don't
Claudia,
understand why women push so hard with
well,
that.
Claudia, in our in our culture, and our women feel like they're better than most of the black women feel like they're better than the average black man. So I feel like they're really doing you a favor by even talking to you.
No, my husband loves me now.
I appreciate you calling in, Ma.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. See,
Bye.
see, Claudia coming through. Hey, y'all look good. Look, let me say what the concept of competing for a black man in the rank and file black woman's mind is a new concept. Think about it. Why else can we have our women outweighing our men, bringing children for the ones that apply, for the ones whom this applies, bringing children, multiple children to their men? Femininity? What? Cooperation? Barely even, like I said yesterday, decent or nice treatment. You have to ask yourself, you tell the men what you think they deserve as a woman by your appearance and your attitude. What is the appearance and attitude of the rank and file black woman tell the black men they think you deserve? Because you want to know something else? When they in mass, if they decide to divest, date out, whatever, the first thing they do is they change that attitude. That deep ass voice becomes very high pitched. because it's easier to fall back into their feminine, get cooperative and girly than drop that weight. But they also get in there and drop that weight. They don't just drop the weight. They'll go get plastic surgeries, nips, tucks. They'll do a lot for an average run-of-the-mill non-black man. That's why these subjects have been hitting so hard, because a lot of you may not have realized what many brothers have been saying has merit. You don't get 300, 250-pound women with no children talking about, I want to be married one day. To who? Think about it. Even if you got married at 235 pounds, baby one's going to put 30 to 50 pounds of baby weight on you. That's going to put you at nearly 300 pounds. You don't remember being a healthy weight? So if the last time you were a healthy weight was in junior high, that means you're going to keep all that weight. 1, 2 kids, a man is looking at a woman who's almost 300 pounds, 270, 280, almost 300 pounds, because you won't lose all that weight. And men are saying, enough. I got to deal with a woman who's not feminine, do not want to cooperate, combative, argumentative, shame, insults, guilt, the need to be right. And you're going to tack on the fact that you are the size you... No, ladies. That's why I was trying to tell this woman, stop trying to be right on the opposite. You need to be lifting weights to build muscle, to burn that fat. But the thing is, I'm talking to the wind. We should not have to keep telling college-educated black women how to get in shape. So I'm done with it. I'm done with telling college-educated black women how to get in shape. You know how to get in shape. You just don't want to. You don't want to do it for the black man, and that's fine. You don't have to. You don't want to do it for a black man. Maybe you'll do it for somebody else. Whatever outcome you want, knock yourself out. But men are not just you've in our community, women have been told, as long as you got a coochie, you in the game. And I hate to break it to you. I've never met a black woman who did not say she had the bomb for JJ. Got news for you. You all don't have it. Most of you are okay at best. Number 2, many guys would rather use their hand, go buy a sex box, go somewhere else. Dudes are tired. It's not because they're a lot of guys are just worn out. And sadly, some of you ladies are just coming to like Neo. You're like, wow, I didn't know. What? There's a thing called the Matrix? Like, shit, we've been here all along. We've been telling you. Brothers have been saying for 30 plus years. And what do you really bring to the table? A lady was saying, I bring a lot to the table. Not when you're as big as a house. And I'm not supposed to say that. That's mean. And there'll be people who watch my show and they'll be like, the way you talked to her was so rude. You could have said it a different way. She could have. That's why I told that Ashley woman, I'm not going to kiss your ass. I'm not going to tell her what she needs. I'm not going to soften anything. She needs to hear. And her dad, makes sense that he's the size he is and he let her get that way. Why? I'm going to just say it, ma'am. He's ensured that he has your father has ensured that he has a wife. It's you. He's ensured that you will never get a man because he gonna need somebody to take care of himself. It's pathological. Sounds messed up. But heck, son husbands end up doing the same thing. Some mothers warp their sons so much to where they're not anywhere fit for a woman, so they always have a man for them. You don't think it happens the other way? There you go. All right, so I'm getting ready to get flued out. Going to be broadcasting from Miami, and I guarantee you, I hope to not see any 200 plus pound women. I don't know where y'all think this shit is all right. I don't know where you think it's all right. Talking about on the dating market. The dating market is blood sport. It's blood sport. What kind of man you think you can get for that size? Well, it depends. It don't depend. The answer is shit. I don't want to say because it makes it real. That's why the aha moment, accountability, honesty, and acceptance, when they avoid that, you know what you're dealing with. Don't want to say it because it makes it too real. Okay. But either way, 2021, we got 30 days left. 2021, the South Americans, the Dominicans, the Colombians, all the Brazil, all them women who's trying to call in. Hey man, if y'all don't want to do nothing any better, I told you I'm profiling a couple every month. I want to see happy, healthy, productive couples. I want to see men happy with women who want to cooperate with them. Yep. So put yourself in that position. Put yourself in that position. If you want something out of life, you're not going to be able to talk yourself into desirability. You have to give men what they want. Or buy a dog and die alone. Next time, peace. We be gone. Let me see if I can read through some of these at the end. Dropping knowledge like Galileo dropped an orange.
I cannot say what's wrong or right. No. It's not hard to fool me. No. 'Cause I'm addicted to the good life.
Shout out to Nate. Shout out to Volcanus.
No need to say where we are heading now, babe. I follow.
He said, I used to think Kevin was Dominican because of Money World. Oh man, I just like the music. Thank you guys for tuning in. Tomorrow we talk about late bloomers. You want to tune in to that show, Late Bloomers. Is it over? Nope. Late bloomers actually should be winning or could be winning if you're willing to do a few simple things. Thank you to all the patrons who make this show possible, especially when you take it on the road. Flew out to Miami tomorrow from South Beach. We're going to have a good time. Yeah. While we're in Miami, make sure to follow me on IG in the Frat Room. I go live on IG almost every day. I'm live. When I'm not, I'm not. IG is where you will see stuff you never see on YouTube, especially when I'm out of town. IG stays lit. Stories are on point, and I'm going out to Miami to kick it with beautiful mama. Ay, papi, ay, adios mío, papi. Hey, Cubans, Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, whatever. First you'll get the money, then you'll get the power, then you'll get the women. Then you're on South Beach. That's right. Support the tricking fund. Yeah. You're tricking it off left and right. Come here, girl. Come here. Back it up. Y'all can say what you want to. Shoot. Beauty costs. Email your show ideas to info@ByKevinSamuel. The subject line. Show ideas or ask Godfather if you want me to respond to a question. Go to ByKevinSamuel, go into booking, schedule your time with me one-on-one. I have some more slots opened up between now and the end of the year. So respect my inbox. All right, people, we are out of here. Flying out tomorrow. Stay safe. Peace out. We are